Let's talk about something we all think we understand: trust. It's the bedrock of our society, our relationships, our entire world. But what if I told you that the very thing that holds us together is also our most dangerous vulnerability?
I mean, think about it. We're taught from day one that trust is a good thing, a strength. But we're also warned not to be too trusting, right? So how can both of these statements be true? How can trust be our absolute greatest strength and, at the same time, our greatest weakness? That's the puzzle we're going to unpack today.
So, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to wrap our heads around what's called the trust paradox. And it's so true. Without trust, everything just grinds to a halt. You trust that the bank will hold your money, that the cars on the road will follow the rules, that your friends have your back. It really is the invisible glue that makes human cooperation even possible.
Okay, so here's the twist. If trust is so good and so vital, how on earth does it become a weakness? Well, that very same instinct we have to trust people, it can be manipulated. It creates a kind of loophole in our human operating system that some people know exactly how to exploit. And this is where we get to the dark side of it all, when trust stops being a bridge that connects us and instead becomes a tool for deception.
There's a name for this: weaponized trust. And we're not talking about a little white lie here. This is a cold, calculated strategy. It's about someone intentionally building your trust, making you feel safe and understood, for the single purpose of taking advantage of you.
And you know what? There's a pretty standard playbook for this. First, they build the foundation, finding common ground to make you feel like they just get you. Then comes the hook, some incredible promise or opportunity. To seal the deal, they give you the convincer, a piece of fake proof. And only after they have your complete trust, that's when the betrayal happens.
And don't for a second think this is just about small-time scams. This exact same pattern, foundation, hook, convincer, betrayal, it's at the core of massive Ponzi schemes and even the way some political figures rise to power by playing on our hopes and fears. The scale is different, but the mechanics are identical.
So, why are we so vulnerable to this? You might think it's about being smart or not, but it's not. It has everything to do with our own psychology.
And here's the thing. It's really not our fault. Our brains are literally hardwired with mental shortcuts, cognitive biases, to help us navigate a super complicated world. Most of the time, they work great, but they also create these predictable blind spots, and manipulators are masters at finding them.
Let's just look at the breakdown. A whopping 40% of why we trust unwisely comes from something called in-group bias. We just naturally trust people we think are like us. Another 30% is authority bias. We're taught to trust experts and people in charge. And then 20% is just plain old optimism bias. We want to believe things will work out. It's a potent cocktail for deception.
This really gets to the heart of it. This is an uncomfortable truth, but often our own desire for something to be true, whether it's a get-rich-quick scheme or an easy solution, that's what makes us drop our guard. Our own hope becomes an accomplice.
All right, so after all that, it's easy to feel a little paranoid. Does this all mean the only safe option is to become a complete cynic and just trust no one? Is that even a way to live?
No, of course not. A life without trust is basically a life of isolation. The answer isn't to abandon trust. It's to get smarter about it. It's time we all upgraded our trust kit.
The solution is simple, but it's not easy. We don't need to trust less. We need to trust smarter. It's about shifting from trust being a passive default setting to it being an active, conscious choice.
And this is what smart trust is all about. It isn't just a feeling you have, it's a skill you develop. It means you're actively looking at the situation, you're assessing credibility, you're thinking about motives. You're not just hoping for the best. The difference is pretty stark when you see it laid out. Blind trust is based on feelings and hope. It's automatic. Smart trust, on the other hand, is built on evidence and behavior. It's a deliberate process. And the outcome? Well, one leads to vulnerability, and the other leads to resilience. I know which one I'd choose. So this all sounds good, but how do we actually put it into practice? What are the real building blocks for this smarter, more resilient kind of trust? Well, it really comes down to 4 pillars. First, verify, then trust. Do a little homework. Second, pay more attention to actions than words. What people do is way more telling than what they say. Third, always take a second to consider the motives. And finally, number 4, this one's huge. Treat trust like something that has to be earned, not something you just give away for free.
And let me be clear, this is not a call to be cynical. Not at all. The goal is simply to be more discerning, to place our trust where it has actually been earned. That way, we make sure our greatest strength doesn't accidentally become our greatest liability.
In the end, maybe we should think about it like this. Trust isn't supposed to be a blind leap into the dark. It should be more like a well-lit bridge that you build yourself, one solid plank at a time. By doing that, the connections we make aren't just strong, they're real.